Hi everybody, today we're going to do a video on how to scrape tires. You're going to be doing this after practice, after heat races, and it's going to be part of your regular routine if you're racing quarter midgets. When prepping and scraping tires, these are some of the common tools you're going to need. A bucket for your scraps, a scraper to get the extra rubber off your heat gun, some tools to get the tire off, a wire brush to brush your studs, some tape, and shrink wrap. And most importantly, here's our heat gun. It's a Wagner, it's adjustable, you can raise and lower the temperature, and then this is what our tire scraper looks like. You can buy one of these off the internet, eBay, Amazon. So let's get going. We're going to want our heat gun turned on early so it's nice and hot. This one we can adjust up to 1200 degrees. Right now we have it at 1000 degrees because it's a little cold in this room. And depending on how warm it is outside and when you come off the racetrack, you might want it hotter, you might want it a little colder. We have our heat gun all warmed up. It's at 1000 degrees. And you can see all the roughness and the stuff that this tire's picked up. You can also see how this tire has all this rubber on the edge of it. This is what we're going to be taking off this tire to make it look like it's clean and brand new again. So I'm going to start on this edge. And I'm going to take the heat gun, roll it on this edge, and you can see already how big of a piece of rubber, excess rubber, that we're getting off this tire. So we're going to scrape this edge. On the car I can rotate this tire around. I can get these big old strands of tire off here, throwing it in my bucket because it's a little bit gooey. And once I go all around this tire, I have all the big stuff off, which is going to make it easier to scrape this tire. Then for my second operation, I'm going to go around this edge, hook it real good, and then scrape along the surface. As I'm scraping, I'm trying to keep nice and steady passes, taking off about the same amount every time. This rubber starts to burn and your heat gun's going to smoke and it's going to smell in your garage a little bit. But that's all normal. And now you can see the rubber on the end of the heat gun. So we're going to take our little scraper here and scrape it into our bucket. And then we're going to continue around the tire. So hopefully you can see the area that we scraped versus the area that we didn't scrape. We're going to work our way around this entire tire. Well, now we had a little bit too much buildup, so we ended up with it on the tire. So we're going to scrape that off and unload our heat gun. It's always a good idea to have some cardboard down or some material on your floor because this rubber gets gooey, and when it gets on the floor it doesn't always come up that easy. So we're using a rubber mat under us. Okay, I'm going to unload the rubber off my heat gun with my scraper again, and then we're going to continue on the tire. Rotating it, holding it with my knee until we work all the way around the tire. This heat gun's a little hot right now, so I'm going to turn the temperature down. This one's nice. I can go minus, and I can go to 900 degrees. and it's still doing a great job. Make sure to get over the edge. And we're pretty much on our last pass here. Again, it's important to get over that edge. We're going to scrape off the rubber into our bucket. And now we're going to look at our tire. There's a little piece. We can just work that off with our hand. And that tire is pretty much done. So now we're going to put our heat gun on cool down mode and move to a different tire. I'm going to show you a close-up of our tire. This is our scraped tire. You can see there are the wear holes on it. This tire is almost about gone. You can also see the inside edge here is worn more than the outside. And you can see our sand marks now that we scraped all the excess rubber off this tire. So again, this is what the tire looks like beforehand. You can see how much material's built up on there and how it's melted a little bit, and that's what we're looking to remove. Now that we got this tire scraped, we're going to do a couple final things here. We're going to measure it. Here's our tape measure, and it pretty much measures 33 inches. That's the spec of this tire, 33 inches. Then the other thing we're going to do is we're going to take this saran plastic wrap. We're going to wrap our tire. And we're going to rip the saran wrap off. Final step is we're going to mark this tire 33 inches. 33 inches. And we always need to know the measurements for our stagger. And if we don't wrap the tire, this is sort of what happens to it. The air and the oxygen in the air oxidizes the tire, and then in order to make this tire work again, we're going to have to re-sand it or re-scrape it to get all that off. Now we're moving to the back tire here. The other one, that's the most important one to scrape, and you can see how much debris this tire's picked up. Again, we're going to start with the edge. I'm going to work my way around. This one's a little harder to turn because of the engine. I'm going to scrape all that goop off the end. Now that I've made it all the way around, I'm going to start the surface. We're going to take a couple passes before we move this tire. And we're going to keep on rotating it and keep on scraping until we get all the way around the tire. We got to build up on our gun now, so we're going to take our scraper and get that off. Put that in our bucket and keep on moving around this tire. We got to put a little downward force on this, but not a lot. After you've scraped an area, if you go back and you re-scrape an area, you're not going to get any more off. You can keep on going over it and over it, but usually one pass is good enough. Again, there's our scrapings. And if you go over the same area again, you're not getting any more off the tire. Oh, now we're on the compression stroke. There you go. We're going to keep on working our way around this tire until we get to the end. Sometimes you can get a feel for if you need a second pass, if there's more material left on the tire. But you can't take off too much material. The gun will only take off the loose rubber. It won't take off the good stuff. A little more left there, so we'll do a second pass. Our heat gun's getting a buildup on it. So we're gonna keep on working our way around this tire. Up, compressor stroke again. There we go. And we're gonna go all the way around this tire. We're almost at the other side. You wanna make sure you get both the inside and outside edge. And we're on our last pass here. And there's our rubber. Scrape that off into our bucket. And that's our last pass. Again, we had the heat gun at 1100 on that one. Now we're gonna cool it down. Again, we're gonna look at this finished tire. You can see the wear bars right here. There's still some meat on this tire, and you can see the inside edge. Even though we scraped this tire, you can see the inside edge is tore up, because this is a faster car that has a lot of pressure on this inside edge, and it's literally ripping this tire material off the tire. And we can't scrape that anymore. If we try and grind that, we'll never get it off. The only way to get that off is to cut this tire, which we'll show you in another video. Now we're switching over to the other side of the car. Again, we're gonna start with the outside edge this time, because that's where the buildup is. I'm gonna remove all that buildup on the outside edge, and then I'm gonna scrape my tire. Taking little bites at a time, not trying to do the whole thing, and I'm all the way around and scrape my extra tire compound off with my scraper, and we're going to start going around this tire. Again, make sure to get over the edge. This side of the car, the tires don't wear as much, so we're going to get less material off this side. This side, the tire lasts a lot longer as well. And we don't have as much on our scraper, so we're going to keep on going. And we just keep on going, same amount all the way around the tire. There's our wear bars right there. There's still plenty of meat on this tire. We're almost at the end. And we're about to finish. One more little section here. Now that tire's done. Again, we can see the finish of the tire. Looks pretty good. And now on to my last tire. This is the left front. This one wears the least out of any of the tires. There's really nothing on the outside edge to take off, so we're just going to start scraping right away. I'm holding it with my knee. I'm just making nice even passes, making sure I get the edge. And again, that's our material. which we're going to scrape into our bucket, and then we're going to keep on going. Well, there is a little buildup on that edge. We might go over it in the end, or make sure we just hook our tool over the edge, watching out for your knee, because the gun is hot. You don't want to hit your knee or have your hands on it at all. Some people like to wear gloves. It's not a bad idea. And hooking the edge again, going all the way around the tire. And we're getting all these rocks and stones in our debris. And you can see these tires are pretty balanced, because after I scrape them, they want to move around to the heavy spot. So this material does have a little bit of weight to it. And our last pass here. We're going to scrape our gun one last time. There's the material. And then we're going to look at this outside edge real quick. And we're just going to do a little touch-up on it. And that's it. We're done. Please give our video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel.
My tires are prepped, ready for the racetrack.